Seattle is one of the most expensive cities here in the country, ranking number 9 in the nation. So what is the actual cost of living here, and is it actually worth it? With Seattle's picturesque views, urban amenities, and high-paying job opportunities, it's no wonder that people are still moving here in droves despite the cost of living. But what makes up these costs? In this video, we'll go over exactly what those costs are based on my years of experience of living here and helping dozens of people relocate here to Seattle. Let's start off with the big one, housing. In Seattle, we are currently ranked number 5 in the nation for the least affordable housing. Seattle's median single-family home price is at $927K, which is up about 12% from last year. This really depends on where you're looking for your home, which location. If you're searching in an area closer to the downtown area, like Queen Anne, Capitol Hill, Magnolia, then you should expect to pay above $1 million for a single family home. If you're moving to the east side, like Mercer Island or Kirkland, the median price for a home is $1.3 million. Condo prices are also climbing. The median Seattle condo sold for $558K, up 8% from last year. And on the east side, the median condo sold for $665K, up 23%. Now let's talk rent prices here in Seattle. As of March 2025, the average rent in Seattle, Washington is $2,071 per month. This is 33% higher than the national average rent price of $1,557 per month. When you rent an apartment in Seattle, you can expect to pay about $1,500 per month for a studio, $2,071 for a 1-bedroom apartment, and around $2,733 for a 2-bedroom apartment. If you opt for a 3-bedroom rental, you could pay $3,809. And this, for the rental market, it really depends on which location you are in. If you're in Seattle, closer to the downtown area, like the Denny Triangle, South Lake Union area, or Belltown, you can expect to pay a lot more than other neighborhoods that are further away. So that's something to keep in mind if you are planning on renting an apartment that's close to, let's say, the Amazon spheres here in South Lake Union. Expect to be paying more for your rent. Number 2, we have taxes. Fun fact about Seattle is that our retail sales tax is higher than most other states across the US. For the sales tax, that's at 10.35% here in Seattle, but we do have no state income tax, which that's pretty good for Washington. A lot of my clients that actually move here from California, the lack of a state income tax is definitely a motivation or a driving factor to choosing to move to Washington, because that is definitely an added bonus. I'm looking at this website, which goes over specifically what the burden by each state is regarding taxes, and it's ranked. Washington is actually ranked number 29. California is ranked number 5. New York is ranked number 1, not surprised there. Minnesota is ranked number 7. So being ranked number 29 as a major city in the US that's also a tech hub, that's pretty crazy to see that. And it's really because of the lack of state income taxes. So let's go down. So California, as you can see, 10.4% for the total tax burden. And then you can see the state income tax. And then going down to number 29, which is where we're at, total tax burden's 8.4% or 8.04%. And then we don't have any state income tax. So right now we're looking at the breakdown of what a $100,000 salary would look like with all your taxes taken out. Net pay would be $77,143, and the taxes you pay would be $22,857. For property taxes too, for let's say a $1 million home, it's around $7 to $9K per year, which a lot of my clients who relocate here from California, they're kind of surprised by how that seems like it's a little low, again, for being in a city that's a major tech hub. So property taxes compared to other major cities, they're relatively low here in Seattle. Number 3, we are going over the cost of groceries here in Seattle, because that is also, unfortunately, another major cost. Right now, Seattle is ranked number 4 in the US for major cities for how expensive groceries are. A new analyst shows that while the average household in the US pays an average of $270.21 on food at the grocery store, residents of Washington pay an average of $287.67 weekly. So that translates for groceries, it's a little more than $1,150 a month. That's something to keep in mind if you're moving here, is that groceries, they can be a little bit more expensive than the average prices across the US. If you live in Seattle and you're planning to commute to work, then most likely you will need a car. Now, this really depends on where you're living. If you're living in the heart of the city, of course, it's easier to commute to your work if it's in downtown Seattle or South Lake Union. But if you're living further out where there's a lack of public transportation, having a car, it's kind of a necessity here in the city. So let's go over what the cost of gas would be. So looking at this map right now from AAA, this goes over all the average prices per gallon across the US. In Washington, we are definitely on the more expensive side. So per gallon right now, it's $4.13. Comparing that to California, which is $4.77. And then let's go over to New York. That's $3.15. And we are definitely ranked as one of the top states here in the US for gas prices. So that's something to keep in mind if you do plan on living here and getting a car, is that gas, it's pretty expensive. Now, if you live in the city of Seattle, we do also have a few options for public transportation. We have the light rail, which just opened up last year, an extension all the way to Linwood in North Seattle, and it kind of runs throughout the city. This spring, there's actually supposed to be stations opening up in Redmond, and then this year in Bellevue, going from Mercer Island to downtown Seattle, and eventually it'll be going all the way over to West Seattle in 2032. The light rail is a great option if you're planning on commuting to downtown Seattle, to South Lake Union. It makes it super easy. If you're even trying to go to a sporting event, don't want to pay for parking, because paying for parking is also a very expensive cost here in the city. So the light rail is a great alternative way to save money. Light rail, it's about $2.25 to $3 for each trip that you take in Seattle, in the downtown area, in Capitol Hill. There's also streetcar buses, and these are $2 per trip. $2.25 per trip for those. We also have Metro buses, which those are $2.75, and those cover essentially like 3 hours of riding time, so you could hop to different buses and not have to pay for more bus tickets. I'm pulling up this website that compares Seattle to the rest of the US for median electricity costs. Right here, this is as of December of 2024. It starts in December 2020, goes up to December 2024. This is for gas. So kind of what I said before, gas is definitely expensive here, no doubt about that. And for electricity, we are actually below the median price across the US. So here's the rest of the US, the blue, and then we're the red here. And here is average prices for utility gas. And we're kind of level in 2024. So for electricity, you can expect to be paying less than the average cost across the US here in Seattle. So is Seattle actually worth living in? Heck yes. We have so many great outdoor activities. The climate is relatively mild here, so you're not going from extreme coldness to being extreme hot over the summer, and it's extremely beautiful. You have the Cascade Mountains, the Olympic Mountains, Puget Sound, Mount Rainier, just so many amazing picturesque views. And there's also plenty of great job opportunities here, especially in tech. A lot of my clients, they actually relocate here from California because Seattle is definitely on the more affordable side compared to other cities that are very much so tech hubs. The median home prices in Seattle, those are going to be lower than the Bay Area. The gas prices are a little bit lower than the Bay Area, relatively the same. The lack of income taxes, state income taxes, that is definitely an added bonus. My name is Sophia Deveaux. I'm a local real estate broker here in Seattle. Down the link is all my information. I love helping out people that are looking to move here, and I even have a free relocation guide down below. Make sure to check that out, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day.